What's going on, fellow investors? I'm going to be filming this during a live day in the markets, and it's been a long time since I have done a portfolio reveal and update. Now, many people have been wondering where these videos have been. And the truth is, these aren't always my favorite videos to do because I'm afraid people will just go out and copy my investments without doing their own due diligence. So make sure you don't do that. And make sure you hit that like button because that tells me that you actually like these videos, and I really don't know if people like these videos or not. So make sure you leave your feedback. Also, let me know in the comments below what you want to be seeing in the future. Now, my personal portfolio has rocketed all the way to $85,000. Now, the really cool thing is that I have been documenting this come up since I was at like $7,000 just 2 years ago on YouTube. It's all here for you guys to watch. So make sure you don't miss out on this opportunity to join the journey, grow rich with me. So make sure you're subscribed because you don't want to be missing these videos. In today's video, we will cover my largest investments from my 20th largest investment to my 11th largest position in my portfolio. Now, I'm doing it this way to avoid this video being super long because I highly doubt any of you guys want to watch a video that's like 35 minutes plus. Or maybe you do. And if you need an extra incentive to hit that like button, if this video gets a lot of love, I will reveal my top 10 positions. Most YouTubers will not show their personal portfolios because they rarely actually own the stocks they claim to be buying. But I want to be as transparent as possible with you. Now, let's start off with my 20th largest holding, and that is McDonald's. So I own 7 shares of McDonald's, and my current equity in them is a little under $1,600. They make up 1.86% of my portfolio, and I have a total gain on them of $215. So you can see all the different time periods and tranches that I bought McDonald's stock in, and so far it's paid off very well. I don't have any negative positions in my purchases of McDonald's. Now, McDonald's is a great real estate and food business. They actually opened up 500 new stores in 2020. They're also launching the McPlant Burger. Now, this is a vegetarian meal option, and it features the Beyond Meat patty. So that's always really exciting and potentially could be healthier for you. They're also bringing out a new chicken sandwich to compete in the chicken sandwich wars. So that's always exciting. I personally love Chick-fil-A. I love the Popeyes chicken sandwich. And another fast food stock I'm really taking a look at is Chipotle. Half of my paycheck, I feel like, already goes to them, so why not just invest in Chipotle stock? All right, so my 19th largest position is IPOE. Now, this is actually just a blank check company right now because hopefully soon here they will merge with the fintech company SoFi Financial with help from Chamath Palihapitiya, and they will become a public company. So currently I own 100 shares of SoFi, or what will potentially soon become SoFi. Right now it's IPOE. I own 100 shares. My cost basis is $2,100, but my current equity is just $1,700. So far I'm in at a loss. And I have been searching daily for news on when that vote to merge will happen. They had said that it will be in Q1 of 2021, but of course that did not happen. Once it actually goes through, and I've heard some rumors that it could be within like the first 2 weeks of April. Once that goes through, I'm going to be buying even more shares of SoFi. But for now, 100 shares is good for me. I want to wait till the vote actually goes through. Now, SoFi CEO Anthony Noto, he actually just announced that they will be offering shares of IPOs because SoFi is going to help underwrite them in the future. They're going to be offering IPOs with anyone with an account value over $3,000, which is huge because in the past, pre-IPOs were only available to just large institutions or wealthy clients. My 18th largest holding is Honeywell, and this is a great industrial dividend play. You can see here I own 8 shares of Honeywell. My cost basis is $1,240. So I'm currently up on them almost $500 in total gains. Every single tranche I've ever bought on Honeywell has been positive. Some are bigger than others, obviously. I've been buying them at different points. And all my positions are short positions, which means I've held them less than 365 days. So if I sold them, I would be paying the highest short-term capital gains tax rate. So Honeywell is pretty diversified in its revenues from aerospace, which the government is a big buyer. Governments are basically a whole nother blank check company, but that's a whole different video. They provide a lot of the fire and security products that every building needs to have. And of course, they're also selling in so many other sectors, whether that's pharmaceuticals, safety, supply chain, chemicals. And they were actually added to the Dow last year. And I would be very careful calling this a pure dividend company because they have plenty of growth ahead of them. So I've been collecting dividends. I've seen some of my tranches gain almost 60% in just under a year, which is pretty phenomenal. I'm really glad I own Honeywell in my portfolio. Okay, coming in at number 17 is the financial giant JPMorgan Chase. We all know about these big banks. So I currently own 12 shares of JPMorgan Chase. My cost basis is about $1,300, but my total equity is $1,833. So I have a total gain of over $500 or 40%. Every single position of JPMorgan Chase that I ever bought is in the green. So it's definitely been a great investment for me. They just continue to reach new all-time highs despite the pandemic. Whether interest rates are high or low, JPMorgan Chase remains a very profitable company regardless. Now, it's been a while since I bought any new shares, but I might be getting overdue, and they have an expected dividend increase coming sometime soon. Number 16 in my portfolio is the health insurance giant United Health Group. Now, I currently own just 5 shares of them, but I have a cost basis of $1,200 or $1,300, and my current value is just under $1,900. So I have almost a $600 gain with them, 45%. Every single share I've ever bought has been in the positive. Now, UNH actually serves more than 75 million people worldwide. Revenues for this company is huge, bringing in $257 billion last year. UNH by itself is actually bigger than the GDP of several small countries. People sadly can't mess with insurance. It is a necessity, and prices just keep rising. They also provide a rapidly growing dividend, share price continues to keep rising, and you truly cannot get much better than UNH. At number 15, we have the old, reliable in Equinix. This is a data center REIT. I currently own 3 shares of them. I have a cost basis of $1,700, current value of $2,000. My total gain is about $300 or 17%. So Equinix is actually the first of my stocks to be cracking that $2,000 threshold in equity. And this is actually one that's been trading sideways for actually quite some time. You see all these stocks reaching all-time highs. This could be one that's actually at a fair price. Now, they recently have had a pretty nice pullback, and there were some questions on whether earnings were going to start to slow in the future, if they will face more competition. This is a very competitive environment, but Equinix, I feel like there is always going to be a need for them, and they still had actually raised their guidance and numbers for next year, so I'm actually not that worried. As we get into the 14th largest position in my portfolio, just remember, if you see a stock that I'm talking about in my portfolio, chances are I've actually already made a video about it, so you can just search my channel to get a more in-depth analysis and my thoughts on the company, rather than just the short summary I'm giving here. So number 14 is actually one that I just recently bought, and despite owning just 1 share, Google is already the 14th largest position in my portfolio and one of the newest. So you can see I just bought Google last week, and I'm already up over $100 or 5% on my money. I made a video on why I think Google has a basic monopoly in several different categories and why I think they will be a cash cow for years to come. Google is a digital real estate giant. They just control so much of our everyday lives with their different products and services. Buying them is really just buying an internet ETF. I also do have a fun trivia question for you guys. I'm sure you can get this right. There's one other stock that I own. I only have 1 share of them, but they're in my top 10 largest holdings. It's pretty obvious what the answer is, but I do want to see if anyone gets it. So let me know in the comments below what you think it is. My 13th largest holding is a super fun one, and that's because they pay me every single month for just owning them, and that of course is QYLD. I just recently hit 100 shares of QYLD. My cost basis is $2,171. My current equity in them is $2,268 for a small total gain here of just under $100 and 4.45%. But in terms of the actual dividends I've received, that's going back all the way to June of 2020 is the first time I bought them. Every single month since then, they have been paying me dividends. So this total gain is actually quite larger than just that. Now, QYLD, they follow a covered call strategy. They're aimed at producing monthly income in the form of dividends. And now that I've reached 100 shares of QYLD, I have been aggressively buying NUSI, which practices a somewhat similar strategy to give me monthly dividend income. And it's really nice to have this mix of growth stocks, dividend stocks, and income ETFs like QYLD and NUSI. Number 12 on this list is a Wall Street Bets favorite, so that means they are a great stock automatically, right? That's the good logic to follow. So Palantir is my 12th largest holding. They actually make up 2.72% of my account. I have 100 shares of them. Cost basis of $24.69, but my current value is just $23.15. So I'm actually down $153 on them as of now. I just bought them as a result of a put. I've been doing a lot of options trading with Palantir, so it's no surprise that I own them in a 100 share quantity. I'm going to be doing covered calls on them, and I have no doubt that they will eventually pass that $25 strike price sometime soon. So Palantir is a big data company. They use AI to help its customers. It's a pretty complex business model, but I think the true power of Palantir is just getting started. And of course, they always get talked about on Wall Street Bets, so I wouldn't be shocked if one of these days Palantir just goes to the moon, like literally. And my 11th largest holding is me putting my trust in the fabulous investor that is Cathie Wood and her ARK team, with me buying 19 shares now of ARK-K. This is the general consensus ARK ETF that covers a wide variety of different sectors and topics. So my cost basis is $23.04. Currently, it's worth $23.17, so I just went positive. I just went back up positive on them today. They actually had a pretty nice pullback here within the last couple of weeks. I scooped up 3 more shares of them just last week. I've been aggressively buying them in this first quarter of 2021. Of all the stocks that I've bought in 2021, ARK-K is by far the most. Now, I expect Cathie and ARK to keep up with that 1 percentile in returns. I know that's a huge, lofty expectation, but I believe in them and the companies that they invest in. I often do a lot of reviews on a lot of the ARK-K stocks. Plus, they actually just launched their ARK Space Exploration ETF, which should be exciting for a lot of investors. All right, so now you've seen some of the biggest positions in my portfolio. If you want to see the top 10 largest positions, let me know in the comments below. And if enough people give positive feedback, I will highly consider it. If you have any questions about the portfolio or video requests, let me know. Remember to not just buy stocks because I'm investing in them. Remember, my investing goals and my timeline is going to be a lot different than yours. And I will buy, stash, collect cash. You later.